So today we're gonna be coloring a picture from Sustos y Sueños, an Hornosito coloring book. We're gonna be coloring this page right here, which is page 15, So Many Places to Go in a Dream, from Sustos y Sueños. So I have a whole bunch of quotes right here that I've gathered. It's a lot of pages, it looks like, but I have it in really big font so that I can read like the quotes quickly. So that's what we're gonna do today to give us all hope, I guess, or even just a moment of just, you know, like joy. I'm gonna get emotional, it's only the beginning of the video. But like, I want to share these quotes that I found that really resonate with me, and I think they will resonate with you as well. I think you'll really like them, and I really want to hear your thoughts. So please, if any of the quotes that I share in this video resonate with you, please say it in the comments. So let's get into it. So I was able to find this first quote. I don't remember the source. I think I heard it like in social media or something like that, but I don't remember for sure. And the quote is, "I'm not perfect, but I'm enough." So, you know, with that one, it really spoke to me because I don't know if y'all have noticed or have said it multiple times before in a video, but I'm like a perfectionist. I'm supposed to be coloring, I forgot. Red, orange. You know, I don't know why I'm like that. I feel like if anybody else, this speaks to them, but I don't like want to make mistakes. You know, I'm a perfectionist, I guess, as a person, and I'm a perfectionist as an artist as well. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to color red orange. Oh my gosh, no. This video is wild and crazy. Got an eraser. Oh my gosh, I fully had like a vision for how I wanted to color this, because y'all, I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. When I'm making coloring pages like for y'all to enjoy and everything, I color it before it's published to see if it's like a fun coloring page. I test it out myself. So I've probably colored this page in like, this would probably be the 4th time that I've colored this picture. But I try to make it different each time. Like the first one that I did, I shared on social media. It was like the blue and the yellow and the red and the green all together with the purple background. And I really like that one. Yeah, so like I'm saying, like I'm really a perfectionist as an artist and as a just as a person. And I don't know what this is gonna look like, but we're just gonna keep going. It's like I had an idea, and in my brain I was like, oh yeah, that's the idea, let's do that one. And then I started talking, and then I fully forgot what my idea was. So yeah, like I was saying, other perfectionists out there, I haven't heard from y'all. Like, am I the only one? I'm not perfect, but I'm enough. And it kind of just like gives me permission to be messy. And I love to be messy, but I just don't want other people to see that. It's like I love my messy self, like when I'm alone and not being perceived by others. But like if I'm in group settings or where I have to be around a whole bunch of other people, like I love my messy, but I know other people out there might not love my messy. And it's like, okay, well, Sanciobi, like not everybody's gonna like you. But that's like, you know, easier said than done, or just easier to be like, you know, not everybody's gonna like you when it's not happening to you. You know what I mean? So that's that quote. I found it and wanted to share it with everybody. You know, and another thing about that quote that I want to say is it kind of like gives you permission, or like gives yourself some grace, instead of worrying about like, oh, I have to be perfect, or like I can't do whatever unless it's perfect, like, or I can't show up unless it's perfect. You're enough, you know? Like, oh, I'm gonna get emotional. It's the first quote. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like, you're enough. You don't have to be perfect. Mm. Mm. I needed to hear that. Mm. And then another thing that I was reading in my notes, like self-actualization and like not being in denial about not being perfect, I guess. I don't know. Delusion has always suited me. Yeah, it's just something to think about. So the next quote that I want to share with you, I have it here. It's a personal quote. I made this one up, and it's kind of just like a fun little thing that I say sometimes. So let me just tell you what it is. Empty cups get filled. And I guess that kind of needs a little bit of background. So when I'm drinking a drink in a cup, whatever the drink is, it doesn't even matter. Whatever it is, or even if it's like I had just got some pickles and put them in a cup or something like that. Whenever I put the cup down, I say out loud, empty cups get filled. And it brings me joy to do that. And it's like something that I do for like good luck. I don't know, it speaks to me because it's like something good is coming. There's a quote, the glass is half full or something like that. I didn't come up with that one, but I came up with may empty cups be filled. And it's kind of like a intention or a manifestation, like I've made space for this really good thing to fill its spot. And it's not like I think like, oh, okay, now I'll come back to the cup in a couple days or something, there'll be coins in it or something. You know, gold coins, that would be cool. It's not that. It's just like empty cups get filled. Fill my cup. That's a saying, you know? Or the cup be filled. I sound freaking ridiculous and crazy right now. But empty cups get filled. Something good is on its way to me. Something good is on its way to me. That's what it comes to it. That's my personal quote that I always say it anytime I drink a cup, and when I finish drinking the last bit or eat the last bit, I say empty cups get filled. So you should try that one. It just really brings me joy and just makes me smile, and I could always use some more of that. So let's go to the next one. So the next quote that I want to share with you is actually a quote that I found from a tarot card. On Instagram, like my For You page, there's a lot of tarot cards and oracle cards that come across there because I like that sort of thing. And I said this before in my spiritual and morality video, but oracle cards specifically, like so many of them have positive messages on them, like good things are coming, good things are on the way, like bright future, abundance, like cards like that. So I just really love looking at oracle cards with positive messages on them, and I was able to find this one. So this card is from the Money and the Law of Attraction deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I don't know them very well, like I'm not familiar with their work, so I don't know what they're really talking about, and this is the only card that I've seen from this deck. So I just wanted to say that before I shared with you what the card was. So yeah, I don't know what Esther and Jerry are talking about, but I really like the card, so I wanted to share it. And the card says, appreciation and love are identical vibrations. I'll read it again. Appreciation and love are identical vibrations. You know, what I got from that when I had seen it was like, I love you, and maybe you kind of understand what I'm saying, but like, it's kind of lost its meaning. And oftentimes when people say I love you, it makes me actually uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable, but it's like, it's not very specific. I love you. Okay, everybody says that. sounded really arrogant. Everybody says that. And I'm not saying everybody says that to me. I'm saying like all the people use that. I love you. So it feels like it's lost its meaning, you know? Or it's like just a thing people say. But I appreciate you. Ugh, I'm gonna get emotional. Ugh, I did not eat any chocolate today. I don't know what's going on with me. Ugh, golly ollie. I appreciate you means so much more to me. Like if somebody says I appreciate you, it just feels more specific. It feels more like all that you are, your qualities. I appreciate that. Ugh, I'm gonna get emotional. Ugh. So I just really, when I saw that card, I was like, yes, it resonates with me. And I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate that you're here with me, going through these quotes together. And oh my gosh, I need to get a grip. For real, but I do, Ugh. I should have brought a tissue too to this. I didn't know it was gonna be like this emotional. I guess I should have known because it's me. Oy. I appreciate you. So next, I put a space in here for inspirational music, but then I didn't find any inspirational music. I'm sure I've heard songs that inspire me, but for some reason I couldn't think of any. So if you have any inspirational music that you want to share, like the lyrics are inspiring, or when you listen to it you feel inspired, that would be cool if you share it. Now that I think about it though, like for me, music that inspires me, like my creativity and really gets it going, is jazz music. My creativity and my brain just activates really crazy when I listen to jazz. Yeah, I really love it, and that's inspirational music for me off the top of my head that I can think of. But like I was saying, if you know inspirational music, like lyrics that are inspirational or something like that, please share it in the comments and I can take a listen to it and let you know what I think about it. So the next quote that I have for you is from a movie. It's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is a really fun movie. The first one that came out in 1971, I believe. And so the quote is, Willy Wonka says, "Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he wanted." And Charlie says, "What happened?" And Willy Wonka says, "He lived happily ever after." And that's the end of the movie. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get emotional again. Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he wanted. He lived happily ever after. And what a powerful ending to the movie that is. Like, oh my gosh. That one always gets me. Anytime I watch it, I get so emotional. Ugh, Here Come the Waterworks for real. Ugh, golly ollie. But yeah, what a powerful ending. When I hear that quote, it's just so hopeful, like so hopeful. And I want to say in my notes that I had seen or heard somebody say something. I don't remember. I was watching some kind of like video. Maybe it was the news or a podcast. But it was the person in the podcast or whatever was like, Americans always think they're like one moment away from fame and fortune. Like, I guess I'm assuming what they were saying is like, because everybody's like on YouTube and TikTok and trying to like, in the next moment I'll be discovered. If I'm going somewhere, like I go to the mall or something, I'll be discovered. Or I'm at the grocery store and like I was singing in the grocery store and somebody heard me singing and they want me to have a record deal or something like that. That's what I thought when he said it. He didn't say, or the person didn't say all of that. I don't remember. And you know, I resonated with even just that. Like, with my book and my cartoon, I do feel like at any moment, or not any moment, but with any post, could be the one that, like, you know, gets like so super much attention or something like that, that the algorithm would actually, like, you know, show to people. So yeah, that quote made me think about another quote. If we only had one thing, you know, like, oh, if we just had this one thing, then all our problems would be solved, or if we just had this one thing, then we'd be happy. Whatever that is for you. If only people saw my art, you know, that's kind of how it resonates for me. But I don't know, maybe if only people saw my art. Yeah, right. How about if only I had multiple $1 million? That's what my one thing is. If I had multiple $1 million, you wouldn't hear me ask for another single thing. And I think it was in my notes too. I was saying, like, okay, yeah, if you had your multiple $1 million, or if you had people, like, a large amount of people looking at your art, it made me think about another quote. If you give a mouse a cookie, if you give a mouse a cookie, it'll surely ask for a glass of milk, right? That's what you think. Like, if you had your multiple $1 million and you have people looking at your stuff, then you might realize or come to feel like, oh wait, no, there's actually, if I had this other thing too, like, yeah, the cookie's nice. Multiple $1 million is nice, but I kind of need a private jet to go with it. I'm just playing with the private jet. I don't care about that sort of thing. And another thing it made me think of is, like, and I'll read it again. Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he wanted. He lived happily ever after. Like, you're not asking for too much, whatever it is. You're not asking for too much. It's just a really beautiful thing to dream, you know? Like, and I'm not even talking about sleep dream, I'm just talking about, like, want something that might seem like it's with what's the word when it's like, oh, want something that might seem like it's outside of our resources or something like that, you know, or like, I could never have that. But you can't think that way. You can't say that sort of thing. You gotta just have the hope of you wanting the thing, and, you know, you're not asking for too much. That's all I have to say about that. So next, I would like to take a moment. Resonating messages are really everywhere, and I want to ask you if you've seen something or heard something or witnessed something on your path throughout the day, or, you know, just recently that resonates with you. If it's a quote or a picture or a song or anything, a tarot card, I don't know, and you want to share it, please say it in the comments. I kind of really want the comments of this video to be like a really happy place that people can go, and, like, if they just want some positivity, they can read the comments. And that way it kind of makes it interactive too, like, because I can hear from you and it'll, like, share positivity, and, you know, you're probably gonna have a quote or something that I haven't heard before, and then I can be like, hey, that's a good one, and I can add it to, like, my little treasure of quotes and just positive things that brighten my day. Brighten the day of anyone who reads the comments, so please share it. So this next quote is from a picture book. It's from What Do You Do with a Chance, written by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by May Beeson. And the quote is about only being brave for a short amount of time. So here's the quote. It's a passage. It's from a picture book, but it's a little wordy. What if I don't get another chance? I know I acted like I didn't care, but the truth was I did. I still wanted to take a chance, but I was afraid and I wasn't sure if I would ever be brave enough. Then I thought, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. I realized it was up to May. What stuck out to me the most is this part. Maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. What that quote means to me is this like temporary courage. Just gotta be brave for a little bit just to get the thing done. That really speaks to me. So it just encourages courage. Yeah. And so I just really like that quote. And I really did think this. 19-year-old me back then, like, I was like, I would take all these chances or like leap toward opportunity in a good way. That sounds bad because I know I say humans are opportunistic, and when I say that, I mean bad things, but I'm not talking about that right now. When I was younger, I was like a 19-year-old. I would take a lot of leaps, like go for a lot of chances of things that I had wanted, because my thought process was like, if I go for it, I could get the thing. I could actually get the thing. And if I don't go for it, I will like never know. I will never know, like, if I just would have did this thing that might seem scary, or taking this leap that was outside of, taking this leap where I wouldn't know if it would work out, you know? But if I didn't do it, I definitely wouldn't possibly get the opportunity. But, you know, nearly 30-year-old me doesn't think that way, you know, like, nearly 30-year-old me doesn't want to take the leap and miss, and that embarrassment, you know what I mean? Or like, to do that sort of thing, to take the leap, like, you have to like be okay with being seen, I guess you could say. And with being seen comes like the possibility of rejection. And as an adult, if taking a leap means that I will face rejection, I just would rather not take the leap. That sounds terrible and crazy. Oh my gosh. But to be honest, like, it's not a good feeling, and I just don't want to feel that. Especially if, like, I'm chilling, I'm good right now here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And that's another thing, I guess, about, like, when you're older, when you're an adult or whatever, like, you have the lived experience to be like, I've taken these chances, or I've taken so many chances and they haven't worked out, and then you're like, they haven't worked out. I don't want to experience that again. But I think the quote, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. And you're gonna know, like, when the right time for you to do it is, I guess. Just gotta listen to your intuition and your inner knowing. Because there are still things like that we want in life, or opportunities, or something like that. I guess it's hard for me to really explain what I'm saying without a specific example, and I really don't have one for you right now, but I really do think of this quote as like a big boost of courage. I really need to like get back into the mindset of 19-year-old me, because, you know, what if it does work out? When I think about that quote, I think about it in relation to other people, like being rejected by people. And I just don't have an interest in that. Like, I'm chilling, I'm good. it's really just like short spurts of courage, you know? Like, you don't have to be walking around all the time like, I'm courageous, I'm brave. But when there's something that you really want in life, you should take that leap. Don't lose hope that things can work out for you, you know? Oh my gosh, this is the most emotional video. But that's just how it's going, you know? Like, it's just, we're saying emotional things. So let's see what's next. So the next quote that I have for you is, you can do difficult things. That's the quote. I remember that I saw this in passing on social media. It says that I can't remember the source. You can do difficult things. You can do difficult things. This quote just makes me think about like being capable when, and again, it's like feeling discouraged about stuff. Even if it's something new, like, you know, you can do it. You can do difficult things. It's just like you're more capable than you know, kind of thing, is what it is speaking to me about that quote. Within reason, that is. When you gotta try something new, but it's like, oh, I've never done that before. I've never done that thing before. Like, that is a lot. You can do difficult things. So the next quote that I have for you is actually like a lost quote, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that. In my notes, it says here, I was looking for a quote that I liked on Twitter several years ago. I couldn't find it, but I semi-remembered what it was. That's why I'm calling it the lost quote. And it goes like something like this. Someone with half the talent as you is doing what you're too afraid to start. Well, lost quote, golly. That might sound arrogant. It might really sound arrogant. But it's a motivator. Someone with half the talent as you is doing what you're too afraid to start. When you know, you know. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about me right now in this second. I'm talking about you. When you know you do something really well, but in your brain you're like, oh, I don't have the resources, or, you know, I don't think I could do that, you know, like. But when you know, when you know you're good at something, like, it makes me think of like, start that picture book, or start that cartoon show, or start the next new, you know, whatever kind of good idea that you have that you can like work on it. Like, just people with less talent than you are out here doing it. You can do it too, you know, and that really spoke to me. And I know that sounds arrogant, but you know, shadow work is real. We need to be honest about when we feel like that. I mean, when you know, you know. I hope that doesn't come off really mean. I don't mean it to come off as mean, because I'm not really saying it like in a comparative way to anybody else in particular. And actually, like, here, when I had seen that quote, it was kind of like, well, first off, it was before I had created Hornosito. And I had saw that quote, and I was like, yeah, like, people with half the talent are doing it. And that's another thing, like, is the only reason you're not doing it, I mean, you have the talent, is the only reason you're not doing it because you're afraid of what you can do or what you can't do? Again, like, as a perfectionist, like, towards my art I'm speaking about right now, like, for the longest time, and even a little bit nowadays, but because I called it out, I can catch it quicker when I realize that's why I'm not acting. But I'm saying, like, you know, I was am like afraid of what I can do, but I'm also afraid of what I can't do, you know? And it's like, what if I try my very hardest and I just can't do it? Like, that's so sad, especially when it's something that you really want out of life, or that you really want to accomplish, but you you're not there, you know? And then that makes me think like, okay, well, you're not there yet. And you never have to be like done. You can just keep trying. You can just keep trying. Oh my gosh, I'm making so many quotes out of other quotes. Like we're analyzing these quotes together and I'm like coming up with all these other ones because I don't know, all this stuff speaks to me and it's really like, because it resonates with me, it like strikes chords of emotion because I'm just paying attention. That's what I always say when I'm like getting emotional about stuff, or nobody else around me is getting emotional about stuff and I'm getting emotional about stuff. It's like I'm just paying attention, you know? And that's another thing I'm reading in my notes. It says, when you feel envious, shadow work, put that energy into doing it yourself. Oh my gosh, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to really name drop. I don't want to sound like somebody who said the reason people don't get stuff is because they don't work. Nobody wants to work, you know? That's another misquote. But, you know, if you feel like, they don't have as much talent as me, instead of using that energy to like leave somebody a nasty comment, or I've seen people do that, just put that energy into like doing it yourself, like doing the thing that you are too afraid to start. And I say that a lot, like the answer is always more stories. Like if we're specifically talking about like picture books or something like that, or TV shows or something like that, the answer is always more stories, because you have a lot of unique original ideas within you. I'm sure you do, and you gotta share them because you're like the only person who can do it the way you would do it. You gotta share them. So start. So let's see what's next. The next quote that I have for you, when I was looking for the lost quote, I had found this one instead. I was going through my tweets and I was like, hey, that really, she's spitting. It's from Sofia Carson from, Descendants. She had said, dream big, because what if it comes true? And that resonated with me because when you're thinking of like your vision or your dreams or whatever, you should consider thinking about it as if you had unlimited resources. Or the reason I say that is because, I heard, and I know I mentioned this a lot, but Vicky Howie from Chakra Boosters, in one of her videos, she had said there's nothing but resourceful people in the world, and that a lack of resources is a temporary thing. And that really spoke to me because it's like, why would you want to limit your dreams? Dreams are limitless. So all those things, like, do it as if you have unlimited resources. Don't think about that sort of thing. Don't think about how is that going to happen though? How am I going to find that much money or whatever, your how is. Like, come up with your dreams without thinking about resources. The resources, or how you're going to get the resources. You can figure that out later. So that really resonated with me. Dream big, because what if it comes true? In the video that I was mentioning, that Vicky Howie was talking about there's only resourceful people in the world, lack of resources is a temporary thing. I'm going to put a link to that in the description if you want to see that video. I really recommend that you do. I love her videos. She's really has a lot of resonating things all the time. So I recommend that channel to you. It's Chakra Boosters on YouTube. Okay. The next one I have to share with you is a misquote, and this one is my favorite quote out of everything I shared with you in this entire video. This one is like magic. This is magic. Okay? And here's the misquote. It's from a show, but it's a song. It's also a song. It's from Yo Gabba Gabba, which was the children's programming that came out or was airing around, like, maybe it was 2000, I want to say 8, maybe 2011. And it's like people in suits I don't know what they call those right now. But yeah, it's from Yo Gabba Gabba. And it's a song, like I said, so I'm gonna sing it. Keep trying, don't give up, never give up. And it's a misquote because when I had heard it on TV, I was like, that's what I had thought they said, or like that's what I remembered them saying. And so I'll read it now in case you couldn't follow along with my melody. Keep trying, don't give up, never give up. And like I said, it's a misquote because I think they said keep trying, don't give up, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I like my misquote better. Never give up, don't give up, never give up. Keep trying, don't give up, never give up. This speaks to me so much. And I have on my notes here, huge second wind motivation. When I'm like doing work on the computer or something, in the back of my mind, I know like I want to accomplish this. Like I really want this to work. Like, and when there's times when like I have like snags about it, like I'm reaching a part that's like challenging and I'm starting to feel like tired, or like I want to take a break, but it's really I want to take a break because I'm frustrated that I can't understand it or get it to work. I sing this. I'm getting emotional at every quote, but I just really like, this speaks to me in such a deep way. So I will sing this. I will sing it. I will say it out loud. I will sing. I'll say, keep trying, don't give up, never give up. And it'll really just like pick me up, and it just makes me keep trying. And I love that. I really love that. So in my notes here I put, when I feel discouraged or start to doubt that I can do it, I sing this misquoted line. Please, if you're watching this, when you feel like I said, you're getting frustrated about it, or it's not making sense, or maybe you're running a race and you're like right almost at the finish line, like the finish line, you can see it, but you're kind of maybe a little bit far and your legs are hurting or something like that. You know, sing this song to yourself. Keep trying, don't give up, never give up. It'll push you forward, and you're gonna cross that finish line, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself. Please, everybody watching this, when I tell you this is magic, just sing it. See what happens. And I wrote in my notes, a gust of I know I can do it energy flows past me in a gentle breeze. Oh, when I sing it, it really does. So I'm going to put a link to the song in the description so that you can hear it and you can kind of hear the melody, because if you can't follow along with like me, like just saying it, wonderful. Only wonderful things to say about that. So I'm really glad I shared that with you. If you have heard of that show or you know that song and you like it, please say in the comments. We're at the last quote. And the last quote is an Ayana Sansiovi quote. So you know how people say, when it rains, it pours? They usually mean it in like a sad way. When it rains, it pours. Like when you got a flat tire, you get stale fries at McDonald's on the same day or something like that. You know, like saying this rotten thing happened and then another rotten thing happens. Like, bet another rotten thing's gonna happen. When it rains, it pours could also go for good things. When it rains, it pours can also go for good things. That's what I want to leave you with, this quote. And I didn't come up with when it rains, it pours, but I did come up with the changing it to positive, because I was just thinking about that one day. When it rains, it pours could mean for good things. When good things happen, if you say out loud, when it rains, it pours. Ugh, that's so powerful. Oh my gosh, I think I've cried at like almost every single one of these quotes. But again, when they really resonate, like they speak to you. and you're paying attention, like, you can get emotional from it, you know? So I put here, when it rains, it pours for abundance. When it rains, it pours for good fortune. When it rains, it pours for prosperity. So when something good happens in your life, just say, when it rains, it pours. And it's like calling in good things to more good things to happen. That really speaks to me. And I was just thinking about that the other day, so I wanted to share it with you. That is as far as I got in the picture, but hey, I was coloring. It's not blank, right? And maybe I'll continue this one in another coloring chat video. This is page 15 from Sustos y Sueños coloring book, which is available on Amazon. So did any of these quotes resonate with you? Were there ones that you heard and you were like, hey, I heard that one before? Or you have some of your own that you'd like to share? Please say it in the comments. If you have a favorite one of the ones that I shared as well, please say it in the comments. You know, like I was saying earlier, positive messages and resonating messages are all around us. You just have to be paying attention. And I'm always paying attention to things that I see and or hear. When things resonate with me, I really take it in. So I do have more quotes that I didn't add in this video because I knew it would make the video like 3 hours. So if you want like a quotes part 2, quotes, color, and chat part 2, please say it in the comments. So that's gonna be it for the color and chat about quotes. Thank you so much for watching.